Alright, let's go to the next video, which is a FNAF video. Sorry, not sorry, I used to be a FNAF kid and I still love the franchise. The most overwhelming FNAF game you will ever play. Burned alive. What the fuck is with the thumbnail? Alright, let's watch it. By Dr. Dxtr Whithe, I guess.
Being overwhelmed, not necessarily something as we people look for in life. There are a lot of things people like to do that don't really make sense to me. Some people like to go cliff jumping or skydiving,
Crazy
something
people.
to give them an adrenaline rush. And while I myself would never do it, I can
Never in fucking hell.
at least understand how that could be appealing.
Yeah, it's like a lot of fun, and especially with skydiving. You have a parachute, you have at least hope that you are safe.
You want to know something nobody ever wants, though? To be overwhelmed. This is the reason why a lot of max mode challenges can turn a lot of people off. And the same reason why I have no interest in trying out Hopeless Pursuit. For the love of God, please stop emailing me about Hopeless Pursuit. I'm not doing it. However, recently I found a FNAF game that is one of the most unique FNAF experiences I've ever played.
Really?
Except there was something very interesting about it. It has to be one of the most overwhelming Five Nights at Freddy's games I've ever played. This is probably going to be a long one, so sit back, relax, and let's talk about next week at Freddy's.
28 minutes, pretty long, to be honest.
Next week at Freddy's takes FNAF 1 and completely reworks everything about it, adding several brand new mechanics to make...
I think I heard about this game. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember, but I fucking can't. Let's see what it
your
is.
heart sink into your ass, and nothing explains this feeling better than when you load into the office and...
Oh wait, I think I did heard about this game. It's the super graphics, right?
turn around for the first time.
Oh, whoa.
Ah, yeah, I remember this. I remember. I watched a few
Oh.
videos.
Oh. Oh. Fuck.
This
I would be doing the same, to be honest, if I was playing that.
is the control panel, your main mode of defense throughout this game. If this looks like a lot, that's because it is.
Yeah,
Here's a
it
fun
is.
fact. I actually went to play this game around 4 months ago. But after seeing this monstrosity behind me, I actually ended my recording and chose a different game to play because of how ridiculous it looked. This
I don't blame you. I would do the same.
control panel is intimidating. There are so many switches, levers, and panels on this thing. I wouldn't blame you if you decided just from glancing at this that this game wasn't for you. To really understand just how much shit goes on in this game and how much you'll have to learn, this game actually gives you a tutorial night where you can mess around with everything in the building for as long as you want, because just throwing you into the game would 100% be too overwhelming. Next week at Freddy's doesn't have any phone calls, nobody to help you and to explain to you what to do.
You
Except
serious?
There kind of is. This is Comcat. Get used to seeing him a lot. His first major role is in the tutorial night, where he will teach you how to use the computers and teach you the mechanics of each important camera in the game, which, by the way, there is a fuck ton of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 cameras. FNAF 2 didn't have that much. What the hell?
So
Wait.
important camera in the game, which, by the way,
Important cameras are marked with red dot. There is even more. There is even more than. Give me a second. There is no FNAF game that had that many cameras, even without the red marks.
there is a fuck ton of them. So strap in and get ready because it's about to get insane. I'll explain the important mechanics as they become relevant. So let's
The fucking music from Graveyard.
Start with how Comcat works, because yes, of course, he himself acts as a threat. While Comcat himself
Fucking excuse me?
can't kill you, he can be the most annoying character on the face of the earth when he wants to be. You can click on his icon on your taskbar to make him appear. There are a few phrases he will say when you do this, and occasionally a phrase will prompt you to respond to it. While you're talking with Comcat, you won't be able to interact with anything else on the computer. This includes your cameras, but
What
to be honest,
a little bitch.
everything else on the computer isn't useful from a gameplay standpoint. If you don't periodically check on Comcat this way, he will take speaking with you into his own hands and appear on the screen whenever he wants. He's pretty much just Bonzi Buddy, except he doesn't steal your private data.
Excuse me, what? I will need to look up this lore. Alright.
When Comcat chooses to appear on his own, the conversation you'll have with him will be much longer than if you initiated the conversation yourself. And since you can't control anything until Comcat leaves, it's in your best interest to occasionally check up on him. Two characters become active on night 1, Bonnie and Chica.
That's a cute bunny, to be honest. I don't know, those ears are very funny, but this chica... What the fatta's bitch.
Before we talk about their mechanics, I want to take a moment to really appreciate how amazing this game looks. Every little detail looks incredible, especially the animatronics. If you look very closely, you'll be able to see the fuzz from the fabric on the robots. It's honestly some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen. So much attention to detail, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But now we can talk about how Bonnie and Chica work. And trust me, these guys do way more than what they do in the official games.
What?
Like, take every mechanic that each of them does from every official game and merge them together, and I bet you that they will still do more in this game.
That's a fucking lot.
I told you it was overwhelming, so let's get into it. Let's start with Bonnie, since he's usually the baseline, basic FNAF character.
The
A
classic.
character that should be simple to understand and should pave the way for more interesting mechanics to form off of it in later animatronics.
Let me guess, it fucking isn't, right?
How much could he possibly do? Well, a fuck ton. Like, shitload. Bonnie's a whole fucking FNAF game by himself, I can't even lie. Bonnie starts on stage. You might be wondering why I'm not just saying what I usually say. Oh, he walks around the building and eventually makes his way to your office. Well, because he's not that simple this time around. So tracking his movements is actually important. Bonnie has 4 possible attack methods. I'm sorry. 4?
What?
That's the most insane thing I've ever heard of. And Bonnie is supposed to be the simplest character? I'm mortified of what is yet to come. Well, calm down, buddy. Let's go over each possible route that Bonnie
Wait, my man has a fucking alter ego? Wow.
can take, starting with the most basic one, heading to your office. This one is simple. Bonnie will walk to your office, appear in your window for a while, and eventually walk into the doorway where you can really see how
Look at him. He's looking like... I know how horny you are. I came here to fuck you. Wait. That reminds me of another angle. What was it?
fucking hulkingly terrifying these robots are.
Okay, I don't really remember what...
Way where you can really...
What else? There was another meme with that kind of angle. I wish I remembered. I wish I knew.
really see how fucking hulkingly terrifying these robots are. I know that FNAF 1 animatronics are like 6'9" or something like that canonically, but no FNAF game has really shown that off in a way that is meaningful. Seeing the animatronics in the doors in this game is actually kind of scary. Obviously, just close the door and you'll be a-okay. However, do keep in mind that the animatronics in this game like to sit at the door for approximately 12 years, so that's fun. Bonnie's next means of making your life miserable is through attacking the compressor room. What the fuck is the compressor room? Well,
He's fucking up the air?
Now is the time we get to start talking about the control panel, and where this game really starts to become an overwhelming headache. The compressor is a large machine inside of the building. The compressor is what allows the doors all throughout the building to be closed.
Okay, that makes way more sense. So he is, my god, Bonnie is breaking the system to get to you.
Because, as I'm sure you could have guessed, it compresses the air that allows the pistons of the door to work properly. I think. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. If any engineers
neither.
are watching, explain how wrong I am about compression and pistons or whatever the fuck in the comments. Thanks. Bonnie will try to enter this compressor room through the hallway camera right before your office. You will have to use the control panel behind you to remotely close off the door to the compressor room before Bonnie gets the chance to enter. However, it's moments
hello.
like these where I need to bring up an issue I was never able to figure out myself.
What?
Since this game is made in a 3D environment, unlike the Click Team FNAF games, it gives a lot more room for the characters to move around. So it's very common that you'll be able to see characters in multiple places on the same camera. When it comes to doors like the compressor room, telling exactly where the animatronic's next move is going to be is borderline impossible. Sometimes it's
Right.
obvious and the character will be standing right next to the door facing it. However, sometimes they'll be miles upon miles away from the fucking door, yet still have their next movement opportunity be into said door.
You're not near the door. You're fine.
Hello. Oh,
Chica,
god
you
damn
dick.
it.
So this leads to you closing
By the way, oh, I fucked up with the camera count. It's still the same 20 or 21, but the red dots, those are the important rooms. Fucking idiot.
doors whenever you see a character on the camera, which a lot of the times the character was never going to enter in the first place, therefore just wasting a fuck ton of power for no reason. If Bonnie manages to get into the compressor room, he'll slap his fat crack all over it and
That spooked me.
break it, which will require you to reboot your compressor. With your compressor off, you obviously won't be able
hello.
to shut any of the doors throughout the building. This includes the doors you can close on the cameras. Bonnie's next attack strategy is the camera connections in the server room. This works exactly the same as the compressor room in theory. You can close the door to the server
Alright.
room when an animatronic is close, using the control panel behind you. If Bonnie manages to get inside the server room, he'll drop his big fat stupid balls all over the control panel and fuck up your camera connections, making you unable to see any of the cameras. You will then have to manually reboot them, which along with the compressor reboot takes a very long time. However, I'd argue that not being able to see your cameras affects the gameplay loop a lot more often. Where a lot of FNAF games fail to make the cameras super useful, Next Week at Freddy's succeeds greatly at making the cameras more important than any other tool at your disposal.
Oh,
the final
damn.
attack strategy that Bonnie can have is activating Foxy, which brings up Foxy altogether. There
Oh god, please no.
are actually
Can you react to the lab incident by Creanaticon? I will look it up later.
two different versions of Foxy in this game, the normal one and the scrapped one in the back room.
Well, that's an ugly bitch.
We'll talk about the backroom one later. For now, let's focus on the main Foxy. By himself, Foxy is incapable of doing anything and will never attack you, only through the assistance of Bonnie and two other animatronics that can activate him. Bonnie has the chance to enter Pirate's Cove and attempt to activate Foxy. Once Bonnie enters, you won't have a super long time to stop him before Foxy comes for that ass.
Whoa, no, 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 no.
Oh my god. Oh.
Fucking
That 2 seconds. He was running at Mach fuck.
dick!
My whole asshole just fell off. It did. Just dropped right out. Just dropped. Just flop. Just fell right out. Fell right on my
Flop.
ass.
Using the special flashlight on the Pirate's Cove camera, you can scare away any unwanted animatronics. However, using this light does temporarily cause higher power usage from everything that uses power. For what reason? I have no fucking idea. I guess God just hates me. If you don't scare Bonnie away fast enough, Foxy will activate and run to your door. If you don't close it
Oh,
fast
God.
enough, he'll place his hook into your rectum, and I'm sure you can imagine how
Yeah, but how can you react to it? He's getting to you in like 2 seconds.
unpleasant that would be. If you do close the door on time, just like FNAF 1, he'll take away some of your power. Except unlike FNAF 1, the max he can take isn't 6, instead being like fucking 15% power just disappears out of existence. So really make sure you're watching that Pirates Cove camera. Whew,
Oh,
there.
fuck.
A couple of pages into the script, and I'm finally done talking about the very first character in this game. Isn't that awesome?
It was all only Bunny, and it's like third of the video.
Now it's time to talk about Chica. Chica also has 4 different ways to attack you.
Oh,
Isn't
no.
that just fucking awesome?
Amazing.
Luckily for us, 3 of the mechanics are identical to Bonnie.
Thank God.
Obviously, Chica can attack your right door.
Pizza? Pizza.
She can also try to fuck up your cameras using the server room, and she's one of the other characters that will attempt to activate Foxy. However, I have noticed that it seems like Bonnie will attempt to a lot more frequently. However, that may also just be because Bonnie's AI value is typically always higher than Chica's is. The new
But the boy is smarter than the girl. Now it's official.
mechanic that Chica adds is pretty similar to Bonnie's compressor attack, except Chica will attempt to attack your power grid. When you see her near the power grid door, you can obviously close it using the
my
control
God.
panel behind you. If she manages to get into the power grid room, she will literally just shut off the power to the entire building, and you'll have to reboot it, which takes quite a long time.
It will be fucking death on the fourth, no, even on the third night, it will be fucking immediate death.
The power being turned off is undoubtedly the most dreadful situation you can be in. Not only does it require you to wait a billion years for your power to turn back on, but the power being turned off also turns off the compressor, meaning that after you wait forever for the power to turn back on, you then have to wait forever again for the compressor to turn back on. And
My
on top of
God.
that, at the start of each night, you have to boot up the cameras, which takes time in and of itself. So of course, when the power is cut, you'll have to reboot the computer as well.
You will have to close the doors first.
Oh yeah, and don't forget to be checking on Comcat frequently or he'll waste even more of your time. Geez,
Oh my
Dexter,
God.
this sounds pretty complicated, and we haven't even introduced everyone yet? Exactly. We still have a lot more to talk about. But if you want to feel a little bit better, the lower the character's AI, the less likely they are to make the most effective choices, meaning that on night
What?
1, most of the movement will be Bonnie and Chica trying to disable your cameras. I personally didn't have them come to my doors on night 1 at all. Night 2 doesn't
You're joking. That's a lot of luck.
add anything new, it just increases the AI of Bonnie and Chica, so chances are you're going to be seeing at least one of them at your door on this night.
Oh, hello there.
However, I will be taking this time to talk about what I feel is this game's biggest flaw. Time. The nights in this
What?
game are long as fuck. I'm talking super fucking long.
Can you give us the exact time?
However long you think they are, they're longer. Most typical FNAF games now will have a real-life second equal 1 in-game minute, meaning
Makes
that
sense.
most nights in FNAF games are 6 minutes long. I
Okay.
feel this is a good length for a night, just dividing the in-world night time in minutes by 10. However, Next Week at Freddy's thought it'd be really funny and a little bit quirky to make each in-game minute 2 seconds in real life.
Wait, so you mean every night is 12 minutes? Or is it even more?
Meaning that each night in Next Week at Freddy's is a whopping 12 fucking minutes long.
Fuck.
Are we serious? I guess I get it. The animatronics move pretty slowly to give you time to properly search for them on the cameras. But 12 minutes? I think I'd rather swallow a grenade and die, thank you. Like, I still beat the whole game. But god damn, losing when you're 11 minutes into a night will really make you question how violent of a person you actually are. Now, something
Yeah.
interesting happens after beating night 2. We get thrown into what this game calls nightmare segments. Think of
Excuse
them
me?
like this game's version of a post-night minigame, except this time there's actually way more to do and it isn't mind-numbingly boring.
Oh,
Well,
fuck.
okay, the first one is. During this nightmare segment, we wake up in the back room of the restaurant. Is this actually happening or is this a nightmare? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm leaning more towards it being a nightmare just because of the name of the segment. We wake up on the floor and notice that the door is closed and we're stuck inside. We say that someone will
How
surely come
pleasant.
to find us, and without
Wait a second. Is it like an homage to the FNAF 4 minigame where the crying child was stuck in the storage room?
even standing up, the nightmare ends. Again, I told you the first one was boring, but they will only get more and more interesting from here, trust me.
Okay.
Moving on to night 3, once again, nothing new is added. The AI of Bonnie and Chica are just increased.
Okay.
But you really have to think. With how many different ways each of them can attack you, and how overwhelming the game's system as a whole is, this is still enough to make each night feel significantly more difficult than the last. Moving on to
That's
the
for
second
sure.
nightmare segment, we're finally able to stand up and really get a good look at our surroundings. The room is very small and very cramped, which would give any normal person a feeling of claustrophobia. We pick up a flashlight that barely does a goddamn thing and start to explore for an exit. It's at this point where I noticed that these nightmare sections would be my least favorite part of the game because of the horrendous mix of both motion blur and horrific head bobbing. But that's really besides the point. We eventually notice a door and recognize that it's just like the one in the office. However, the lever that controls the door is missing. We find it on a desk, but before we can attach it to escape, a throbbing pain comes to our head and we pass out. Night 4 is where we get to talk about the new and final threat this game has to offer.
Finally.
Don't let that fool you, because this threat is a big one. A big
Oh my
stinker.
god.
A poopy head for all of you
Ew, why did you put that noise? Fucking sick.
elementary schoolers out there who really a big stinker. A poopy head for all of you elementary
Ew.
schoolers out there who really shouldn't be watching my channel. Night 4 introduces Freddy, and let me tell you,
He looks... I'm sorry, but those eyes makes him look so fucking funny.
he's got all the tricks up his sleeve, and he's ready to flatten you like a pancake and fold you like an
Hello.
omelet. Freddy can literally do everything, and he moves faster than the other animatronics. So
One
needless
second.
to say, he's going to be the one that grabs a clump of your rump and doesn't let go like a snapping turtle. Not only can Freddy take all 4 of the paths that Bonnie and Chica can take, those being fucking the compressor room, activating Foxy, killing the power, and disconnecting your cameras, he can also attack either of your doors. And there's also something
Well, that makes sense.
else unique to him that he can do. Remember how I told you that there are 2 Foxies in this game?
Yeah.
Freddy fucks around with the other one. Scrapped
my God.
Foxy is present in the back room. The only other character who will enter this room is Freddy. And be careful, because sometimes seeing Freddy on this camera can be pretty difficult, as he has the habit of hiding in the shadows.
Oh, you little bitch, I barely see you. Here he is. I see him. Oh my god, he will... Oh no.
When you see Freddy in the back room, shut the door to Scrapped Foxy's room using the control panel behind you. If Freddy manages to get inside, he will send Scrapped Foxy to your office. However, unlike normal Foxy, Scrapped Foxy can attack either of your doors. I personally have
Oh
no
my
idea how
God.
much power he takes away when he pounds on your door, as I'm a fucking god gamer and never had to deal with him.
Okay. I need to see it in super slow speed.
When he pounds on your door, as I'm a fucking god gamer and never had to deal with him.
Don't lie. God damn it. There is no other text. That was for nothing.
It is a mistake I will not make again. Uh-oh.
Hello.
Okay, let's talk about this. I had that fucking door closed when Freddy was in there.
Which, by the way, you can see my epic FNAF scales on my second channel, Dxtr Black. But once Scrapped Foxy pounds on your door, he'll break in the hallway where he won't reactivate for the rest of the night. And from here, nothing else actually gets added to the night sections. Each night just gets more and more difficult. Now sure, there aren't a lot of threats that can happen at the same time, but the reason why this game is so overwhelming is because of how much you have to remember. You have to know where all the characters are. You have to understand how each mechanic works, and you have to be able to control your nerves during all of this for 12 minutes straight and barely pass each night due to almost running out of power because these animatronics camp more than a fat Call of Duty player.
Oh, hi.
You will need to have autistic hyperfixation to complete this game.
Hi, Chica.
Hello. She looks, to be honest, kinda intimidating. Like, hello there. I'm gonna to fucking kill you. I love it.
My luck is gargantuan right now.
Moving on to the third nightmare segment, this game really shows how much of a dickhead it can really be. We wake back up and are finally able to put the lever on the door, only to find out that the door isn't even getting power, which doesn't make sense because we know from the night sections that if there's no power, the door opens, but what the fuck ever, I'm pretty sure this is literally just a nightmare. Turning around, we notice that the once cramped room is now larger, as a wall that was previously present has disappeared, now leading into a large storage area. With our worthless flashlight in hand, we venture into the dark room, following a wire on the ceiling that will hopefully lead to something to turn the power on. After some wandering, we find a breaker box, but it's locked and we're unable to get into it.
Fuck.
We figure a key must be around the maze of a storage area somewhere, so we set out to find it.
Is there any threat?
Guys, I hated this section so fucking much. I mentioned earlier I have motion sickness, and this gameplay is some of the most nauseating shit I've ever seen in my life. During my playthrough, which you can watch over on my second channel, Dxtr Black, I spent a pretty decent amount of time looking for this key, and I couldn't find it. With my head pounding and really just wanting to wrap up the video, I looked up a walkthrough just to see where it was. I went to the location where the guy in the walkthrough found it, shout out to Indie Fuel by the way, only to find that the key wasn't there. The key spawns in a random location, so you can't look up where it is.
Wait, is there a pattern at least? Because it can't be like random. It must be either here or there. Like a fixed place must be a few fixed places, sorry.
I now had to spend who the fuck knows how long wandering around with the feeling that my head was about to implode looking for a key the size of your ball sack. However, eventually I did find it and I used it to unlock the breaker, only to find out that all we unlocked was another fucking lock. God damn it! Are you serious? This is not a thing that has ever existed. Now we have to find a 4-digit code in this fucking hellhole.
Pentagon level security, what the hell?
This is by far the worst nightmare segment in the entire game. It is ruthless. At first I thought, oh, let's just try the classics. You know, 1987, 1983, but nothing worked. So I assumed that I had to go find the numbers somewhere. I checked the walkthrough, and of course, the code is randomized. Amazing.
Oh, fuck.
After once again, who fucking knows how long, I wander back to the breaker, only
How am I supposed to know the code? The text says.
for the game to then tell me that I should listen for clicks on the correct numbers. Are you fucking me right now?
What?
Why did you not tell me that when I was guessing codes before?
Guessing on the clicks?
Why did you wait so fucking long to come up with that? This game hates me. This game is pulling my hair and just plowing the shit out of me like I'm a dirty little slut. But whatever. We input the code and flip the breaker switch. And as we're walking back to the door to try and open it, we once again pass out. I guess that's what happened when you're just fucked for hours upon hours at a time. You get so tired, you just pass out. Fantastic.
Feels very familiar, to be honest.
As I've said, Night 5 doesn't add anything new, so we can just jump right back into the hellhole that is these nightmare segments. Where the same 15-second ambience loops forever right in my fucking ear when I already have a goddamn headache. Once again, we wake up and walk back to the door to see if we can open it. We flip the switch, and for fuck's sake, something's wrong with the compressor. So we have to go try and find something else.
Fuck.
Now, I'm not sure if this next part was just a me thing. So for anyone else who has played this game, let me know if this next part happened to you. We're told literally nothing of importance. The only thing our character states is something along the lines of, "What am I going to do now?" And that's all we're left with. So my
Nice.
first thought is something along the lines of, "Oh, I just need to look for another who the fuck knows what." So I did just that. I wandered around the storage area looking for something I hadn't seen before. Who can even say how long I was wandering around before I eventually found what I was supposed to find? Directly next to the original room that we were in at the beginning of the nightmare segments, another wall miraculously disappeared. And that's
Wow.
where we were supposed to go. That wouldn't even be a huge problem if I could fucking see anything at all. But it's so fucking dark. I can't see my hands. It's so dark I can't even think, which I know doesn't make sense, but fuck it, here we are.
It actually makes sense. It does make sense.
Entering this new room, we see a bunch of pipes on the wall. We know the power is on, but figure that there's a generator somewhere that hasn't been turned on, because it wouldn't be a horror game if you didn't have to turn on a generator at some point, now would it? After wandering down a hallway that probably took me 20 minutes to find because I couldn't see a fucking thing, we stumble into the room where the generator is. We power it on and promptly pass out once more because of how loud it is. I'm sure you could guess. Nothing new of note in night 6, just really fucking hard. In the final nightmare segment, we wake up once more. We walk back to the pipes only to find that a bunch of gas, or air, whatever the fuck, is leaking out of them. So we have to find
Shit.
something to close the valves, which means I get to play another game of walk around aimlessly with a headache looking for a randomly generated tiny object when I can't see a fucking thing. After a long time searching, we find a valve. We then have to take the valve back over to the pipes and figure out which of the billion of them to close off. At first I thought, let's follow the pipe that leads to the door we're trying to open. So after following the completely unconventional and nonsensical twists and turns of the pipes, I found the one that went to the door.
Oh,
Placing
nice.
the valve in that pipe, I tightened it and it caused the valve to shoot out at Mach 1000 and land who the fuck knows where. So you know what we get to do now? Play another game of walk around aimlessly with a headache looking for a randomly generated tiny object when I can't see a fucking thing. After finding it lying on the fucking ground, I decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna brute force this one. And to my luck, the pipe I chose to put the valve in next just so happened to be the correct one. Thank God. Finally, we head back over to the door and try to open it one final time, and finally it opens. We see a newspaper with some audio from a newscast playing in the background, explaining that an employee at Freddy Fazbear's burned down the building after reporting that the animatronic stalked him during the night.
As he fucking should.
This employee is who I can only assume to be us. We were placed into a psychiatric hospital because everyone just assumed we were cuckoo bananas. We also find out that the owner of the restaurant, who in this game is called Jacob Fazler, retarded name, I should mention, has been arrested for killing several children, probably in reference to the typical FNAF missing children's incident. And of course, the co-owner, Marcus Reed, killed his daughter. Why did this game choose to give them different names instead of calling them William and Henry? I'm not totally sure. But with that, the main game of Next Week at Freddy's comes to a close. But this game's lore goes a lot deeper than what we've seen. I mean, seriously, the backstory of this game takes up an overwhelming majority of this game's own Wikipedia page. Throughout this game, you're able to look through the files on the computer while also doing things like checking the cameras. It's through these files where you can learn the most overwhelming bullshit you've ever been up against in your entire life. Alright, so let's break down the absolute shit show that is this game's retelling of the original FNAF lore. As I understand it, and with significant help from the wonderful writing of City, the creator of the FNAF fan game wiki. Seriously, I couldn't do this shit without you. No idea how you had it in you to write all this, but here's my shitty retelling. Next Week at Freddy's kicks off with Jacob Fazler and Marcus Reed, the two guys behind Fazbear Enterprises. They started cooking up the idea in the late 80s, and by October of 1989, they have brought the building that would become Freddy Fazbear's Pizza family restaurant. Jacob even logs all of his progress on the same computer in the office you used during the game, talking about buying the stage, wiring the rooms, and bragging about getting pneumoatronics to build the animatronics. He also casts the voices. Adam Burton as Freddy, Rick Ellis as Foxy, and Davey and Suzanne Paul for Bonnie and Chica. By 1990, the place is open, Business is booming, Jacob marries Nancy, she helps out in the studio, and soon they're running 3 locations. Everything looks fine, but Marcus slowly
Very
drifts
good.
away from the company, skipping meetings and distancing himself. In 1995, Jacob installs the infamous control panel in the office. You know, the fucking NASA dashboard of switches that's basically the whole reason this game is overwhelming in the first place. Then, life falls apart. Nancy dies, and that's never explained, and Jacob is left raising their daughter Lara on his own. Lara grows up around the restaurant but loses interest in it, and Marcus cashes out of the company entirely. Jump to 1999. Jacob gets a shiny $12 million offer from Sunbird Hotel Corporation to expand, and for the first time in years, he's motivated again. But in 2001, Marcus storms back demanding his old share. Jacob tells him, "Too bad, fucker, the deal's already done," and Marcus has a meltdown. He's literally dragged out by Adam Burton, Freddy's voice actor, and Marcus files a lawsuit, but the outcome is never revealed. And then tragedy hits. In June 2001, Lara is found dead in the storage room of Freddy's. 3 days later, Sunbird pulls their deal. Jacob's later logs get darker. He writes about hearing Lara's cries and feeling like she's watching him, angry. By 2002, he admits he's, quote, made a mistake. That mistake? Involvement in the deaths of 3 children. Not long after, Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica start moving in disturbingly lifelike ways, which, yeah, the model viewer pretty much confirms are the spirits of those 3 kids. Meanwhile, the employee chat logs on that same office computer show the slow collapse of the place. Staff complain about the animatronics walking around on their own, about creepy suits left lying around, about Jacob drinking and acting strange after Lara's death. Scrap Foxy briefly gets mentioned as this janky earlier version of Foxy. There's even a memo from Jacob banning guest mode after a balloon incident, and literally bolting the animatronics to the stage to avoid lawsuits. And as far as I'm aware, that's all Next Week at Freddy's has to offer. Overall, I think it's one of the most creative FNAF games ever designed from a gameplay standpoint. The game looks gorgeous, it functions really well, and it found a way to make literally every single mechanic useful, which is something a lot of FNAF games just don't seem to be able to do. I would highly recommend you play this game and give it a try. You will not regret it. But let me know what you think. Do you agree with me, or do you think this game is actually horseshit? Let me know in the comments below. In my Mac Tonight video, I asked you guys what your favorite story from a FNAF game was, and my favorite comment was this one by RetroX Gamer, who said The Return to Freddy's. That's just the funniest joke I've ever heard.
Wait.
Guys, what your favorite story from a FNAF game was, and my favorite comment was this one by RetroX Gamer.
I know the story of the return of Freddy's, the return to Freddy's series. Kinda no, I know that this is this is the second most fucked up fan fiction. Right after the Loud House revamp. Just saying.
Who said The Return to Freddy's. That's just the funniest joke I've ever heard, because the story of that series is actually so hot garbage that I need to jump into an ice bath to cool off. The question of this video is, what FNAF game do you think doesn't get enough recognition?
Sorry.
With the question of the video being asked, subscribe to the channel.
Let me think. I don't know if Graveyard is popular right now. Let's see. What is the answers? Don't let him see post shift 2. That's right. Dave here. I love the review. Thank you for playing. Just to correct a few things. Only Freddy can enter the power grid. Chica can only attack the server room, and New Foxy and you. Okay. New Foxy will attack. Foxy will do that too. Oh shit. Depending on who activated him. Then Bonnie on the left, Chica on the right, right? Bonnie, he goes left, Chica, she goes right. Boy Chica. Fucking boy Chica. Oh my god. Freddy has a 50-50. Scrap Foxy only runs down the left, for he is the original Foxy. That makes sense. Okay, so I'm now fusion mechanic, but me and my dad work around the compressors and stuff and at about... Oh, he was actually right. Nice. Okay, let's see. Oh, end of the video question. I would say New Nights at Freddy's doesn't get enough recognition. Okay. Let me think for a minute. What FNAF game was kinda underrated? I have no idea. There is that game where... I forgot the name of it. I will find it later. You will see it in the re-upload of the video. But whatever. Wonderful fucking video. Oh... I'm sorry, but seeing people suffer emotionally makes me smile. If you like this video and want to see more of it, please subscribe to the channel. It will give me a lot of emotional support. And if you can, please visit my streams every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Maybe even Saturday. Depending on my mood. I am trying to hit affiliate on Twitch and I need only 3 average active viewers on stream. Please do me a present for Christmas. Please.